Show me a discussion about worship in today's church, and I will show you an argument about musical style. Unfortunately, most every conversation that we have about worship ends up being a diatribe about what to play and who to sing and whether we should use drums or an organ. But you see, each church has been called to a different purpose. Each church has its own language and its own style of worship. Each church worshiping God in its own unique way. So how does a worship leader find themselves to be successful? How do they find their way through the milieu of the ocean of opinions when it comes to worship? Well, they do that by leading from values. And within most any worship department, 3 values need to be adhered to. The value of unity, the value of excellent performance, and the value of environment for spiritual growth. Take a look at this tricycle. When you put a tricycle together, you need 3 wheels. That's the tricycle. If you leave one of these wheels off, it's not going to go. The other things look like, right? Sounds like a tricycle, but it's not going to move anywhere. It needs all 3 wheels. Just like most every worship department needs all 3 values. Value number 1, unity. Unity brings up 2 questions. To what should we be unified, and to the extent of unity should be adhered to? Question number 1, to what should we be unified? It's easy. The mission, vision, and values of whatever church that worship department is serving through. For you see, God's already given that church a purpose. And the worship department, worshiping God through that church, needs to adhere to that purpose. When all of their members do that, they're going to move in the same direction. The second question, how unified should we be? Holistically. Think of this, back to the tricycle. If one of these back tires decides to deviate just a bit, just a little bit, you don't really notice it at first. But over time, it's going to get wobbly, and it's not going to go the same direction. And if you let that continue and let that wheel just be free, eventually it's going to find its way right away. So unification needs to come all together. And the adherence needs to be to the mission, vision, and values of the church. The second value, that of excellent performance. How do we marry excellent performance in a church while at the same time remain a place of grace? You know, in the real world of music, in the real world of performance, it's all subjective. It's all about the market. Excellent performance is all about what sells and what doesn't. Consider a rap artist. Let's say he's at the top of the charts. He is the best in his game. Millions buy his records. Yet there's going to be some who don't like rap, and they're not going to see him as excellent at all. But others who will love his work. In the church, it's a bit different. In the church, it's all about we're worshiping God. How does He feel about us? Excellent performance can be attained in the church. Think about the tricycle. You notice you got 2 small back wheels, 1 big front wheel. In the church, a lot of people want to be this big front wheel right here. This big front wheel that holds the pedals, that foundations the handlebars. But you know what? That big wheel doesn't go anywhere without these 2 back ones. Same way in the church. Everyone is gifted differently, but everyone has the same value. That value of moving the church forward in worship. So excellent performance is the responsibility of the church. And that responsibility goes to making sure that no matter what level of giftedness, there are opportunities for everyone to be excellent. Someone may be a soloist, someone may be a choir member, someone may be really, really good at praying. And each one of those people are vitally important to the whole. For again, without one, the other 2 can't move. And the machine stops. The third value that we're going to talk about is an environment for spiritual growth. You know, everyone has a next step. Everyone needs to grow spiritually. And within a church, really any ministry that's within a church that prohibits that growth toward Jesus Christ is not fulfilling their purpose. You know, the Bible speaks openly. Paul tells Timothy to continue to offer himself to be approved. Offer himself to be a good worker. So is the same in the worship department of most any church. We must offer an environment of spiritual growth. If you've got people that gossip and people that want to, constantly question authority, there's no room for spirituality there. There's no room for growth. And so that value must be adhered to. Too many times, ministers look at the challenges they face within a worship department and immediately cast blame on the participants, while all the fault really lies right in their lap. For you see, if they've built a tricycle without any values at all, it's just a frame. It just sits there, it's red and white, it's never going to move. But by adhering to the three values of unity, excellent performance, and environment for spiritual growth, they can ensure that the worship department and the church that they serve will fulfill its purpose and be very effective in the ministry of worship and the ministry of the community. Thank you for your time today.